Hi Scorpio, and welcome to my channel. So if you've been here before, you already know a bit how I work with my cards, and if you haven't been here before, then welcome. So what I normally do is I try to get out a reading per month per each of the sign, and this is your reading for the sign for the month of April. This is when I'm reading for, but please do not get too hooked up on the dates, because I always also very much believe that we all find the reading that is suitable for us at the moment that we need it, the moment we actually stumble onto it. So if you find this after April 2024, please just go ahead and watch this, because there's certainly there must be something in here for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be drawn to this channel. Now, if you enjoy what you're going to see and hear, then please just don't forget to put a like. And if you'd like to say something, please drop me a message in the comments. I'd love to chat to all of you. And also, please don't forget to subscribe. That's very important, because this is a new channel, and in order to reach more and more people, and I need subscriptions. Otherwise, YouTube doesn't boost my readings. So thank you for doing that, and for sharing this reading with whoever you think may be benefiting from it. Okay, now last thing I'd like to say is that energies are obviously always, changeable, especially with free will. And whatever you hear and see, it's not going to last forever anyway. It's just a temporary time. So just, take whatever resonates, because this reading hopefully will reach many of you, and you will all find different things that resonate. So please just don't forget to discard anything that doesn't apply to you. And also, I'll try to bring up different scenarios so that you can actually see the relevance for you. But I may not obviously bring up exactly your situation, because I can't really possibly address all of them. So with this in mind, let's move forward, and let's start with the reading, which usually for this longer kind of readings, which are specific for a sign, I like to start by picking up a card that tells me the kind of energy that surrounds that sign, that specific time. And what I got in your case, Scorpio, was the Sun card. Also says Spirit here in the card. Now, this is a wonderful card to have if you know a bit of astrology, and even in the tarot. In the tarot decks, we know that this is kind of like the happiest card in the lot. So obviously, this is a good sign. But if you know me a little bit, you know also that I'm not into bad and good and light and dark. I think we all have a mix of everything going on daily within ourselves and outside of ourselves. What I'd like to say is that though the sun definitely brings about a quality of enlightenment, for sure, because that's the primary function of the sun in our solar system. But also, in whichever practice, whether it's astrology, tarot, whatever. So the sun is really our symbol of our vitality, of our life force. It's energy at its purest form, and it's energy that transforms whatever it touches. So it transforms even stagnant situations, for example, into active situation. It's something that is associated with action, a little bit like Mars would be, but Mars is just like pure action without the enlightenment of it necessarily, whereas the sun is strong and it's powerful, and without it we could not be on this earth, we would not be living, because it is our driving force. So this is something that you need to keep in mind while we go through the reading, because the sun really is about our spirit. It's about what fulfills us, it's about what our purpose in life could be, and how we can shine a light on that path and move forward in the direction that we're supposed to go. The sun is very important for many aspects in our life. Is the life-giving creator, is called spirit because it enlivens the body. So it's pretty much whatever, it's the desire to bring on the outside what exists on the inside. So what this tells me as the energy crowning your reading is that there is something that really needed possibly some sort of illumination. Like you maybe were not aware of something, or the word I'm getting is that there was something dormant in you, something that was always there, but you kind of needed a light to shed a bit of clarity onto the subject, whatever the subject is. Now, like I said at the beginning, this reading will not resonate with all of you the same way. So for some of you will whatever is the most prominent thing that you have in mind at this time. It could be a relationship, but it could be a job, it could be a project, it could be a venture that you're thinking about, like an idea that it sparked in your mind, and it's at the very beginning, and it needs light to grow, a bit like a plant that a seed needs a warmth to grow. And actually this, without even thinking about it, but I'm actually referring to a card in here at Seven of Pentacles, which is all about growth, and we're gonna have a look into the cards in a minute. But actually it really kind of resonates with the overall feeling that I get from this card spread. Just remember that whatever the sun sheds a light on, it means that it's something that is truly meaningful to you, and you have to pay attention to it. So do not discard anything that you feel like it's been a bit of a revelation, or something that all of a sudden you just appear to see, and it maybe was in front of you the whole time, but this was the right time for you to actually be aware of, becoming aware of it. So do not discard all the synchronicities and all the odd things that may happen in this period of time, because chances are they're not odd. I don't believe in coincidence to start with, but specifically in this at this time, that could be what it is. And also don't forget to act on whatever it is that is presented to you. So the sun is a great energy to have, but alone it won't do much to you unless you actually take action on whatever it is that is presented to you as an opportunity, because this is all it is. Like I said at the beginning, we have free will, so we need to act upon our choices. Now, it's not always a time for action. It's sometimes a reading, and the energies and the movements of the planets up above will tell us differently. It will tell us that it's time to, for some rest. It's time to, mull decisions over a little longer. But when you have the sun, what I'm encouraged to say is that no, this is the time for action. So do not sit dormant. Again, the same word comes up. On whatever it is that you are mulling over, because this is something that it's time for you to, kind of reaping what you saw. And from what I see here, it seems like you have gone through a good process of, understanding and shedding a light on something that you actually had within you. So it's a progressive energy. This one, it's an energetic energy. It tells us of good things coming forward, and things will possibly go your way if you take the right actions, okay? So I'm just going to drop this card over here. We're just going to keep it in mind. Now we know what the energy is all about, and we're going to start having a look at the actual cards. So like I said, there is this quality of new information coming in, new knowledge coming in. Now, one thing that is very, very interesting to me is that since I started doing these readings a bit more, let's say, on a weekly schedule, or more frequently, let's say, I realized that my cards are coming up in a certain way many times, which is you see how I put them on my desk. They're not exactly in order, and that's because what you see here, for example, is a clarification that I asked for this card, because while I'm popping the cards, a story starts to form, and I'm like, okay, yeah, but I'm not clear on this, so what is it? And so I asked for clarification, and then eventually I lay out my cards in a, somebody may say in a weird way, but actually what turns out from this is that sometimes many times up until now, I realized that some cards are really coming one on top of the other, and they actually hold a message in that specific position, something that I haven't really always paid attention to, but it seems to be the case now. So it's good that I bring it forward and that I mention it, because what happened here is that I laid out, well, this is the main card for me, like the main energy, right? But then I started laying out the cards from the other deck, and I felt the urge to separate these cards here, and I found myself with the moon just under the sun, the card of the sun. Now, yes, they are two different decks, but beside the point, because actually if you were to be really analytical about it, the sun actually popped up again, and guess what, it was exactly underneath the moon again. So the sun and the moon in the middle, that really, even without this sun here, I would have said that because the moon is just underneath the sun, this already holds a whole lot of meaning to me, coming from astrology, coming from what I know, what I do for a living, or in my living day. That's what I give the most attention to in my life. So why is that important? Because the sun and the moon have a very specific relationship in the sky, in the human life, in the life of Earth, really, in general. And I'm actually recording this reading, and like I said, I don't believe in coincidences, so I need to bring this up. I'm recording this reading just right the day after the first eclipse of the 2024 eclipse season, which happened on the 25th of March. So today is the 26th of March, and I'm reading for the month of April. There will be an upcoming eclipse on the 8th of April again. That will be in the sign of Aries. The one that just passes and was in the sign of Libra. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because an eclipse is the result of the relationship, let's say, between the sun and the moon. What they do in the sky, the kind of dance that they dance together or separately, is what gives life, amongst other things, amongst other lunar phases, also to the eclipse season. And so the eclipses are a moment in time where actually the energies are so strong that they impact us in very unpredictable ways. And there's no surprise that the ancients were absolutely scared and devastated whenever they saw these weird phenomena happening in the sky, a sun becoming dark, or a moon becoming, being, shining, and then all of a sudden being, in the shade. And so it's really an interesting thing, I would say, that this is happening in this reading, that I see the sun above the moon, because what it tells me right away is that indeed the sun is out now for the month of April, if this is when you're watching this, to illuminate something that you were not aware of, because the moon in tarot is something that you're not aware of, something that's been kept hidden, something that you don't have a full vision over, because there's a bit of darkness, and so you just don't know what to do. Sometimes you feel a bit of a loss, because you know that you may be feeling, because the moon is connected to the feelings a lot, you may be feeling that there is something there that is hidden from you, but you don't quite know what it is. You cannot point a finger at it, and so you just kind of feel, this sense of, some people would allow the feeling in, and that would be, surrendering to what you don't know, because you cannot control. But some of us would actually be frustrated with the situation. So the good news is that the sun is here now to indeed illuminate, bring a little bit of clarity to, or a lot of clarity, I would say, into whatever it is that got you perhaps a bit stuck. And the cards surrounding the moon are actually telling me that you finally feel like a bit more at peace, like you can really rest on whatever it was going on within you that you knew wasn't quite right or quite exposed as of yet. And so you are getting a new sort of beginning into a new phase where you're actually a bit more relaxed. You understand that you have manifested or can manifest whatever it is that you want. It feels like it's more of a recent past energy to me, like you have finally got into your own power to release and to awake into a situation that now you have more information about, because the sun came out. Now, this will resonate with all of you differently, but I would certainly say if you are here because the most prominent in energy around you is that of another person or a situation with somebody else that you are interested in knowing more about. And by the way, it could be definitely an intimate partner. There are indications that that could be the case, but it could also be a very strong friendship, somebody that is really like a soulmate. And by soulmate, if you know the concept, you know that we will have more in each lifetime if you believe in several lifetimes. There is always this concept of soulmate. This guy, this girl is my soulmate. Not necessarily. Your mom can be your soulmate. Your best friend could be your soulmate, and we have several. So please don't get too hooked up on the wording either, because for sure it could be an intimate partner. And if that's the case, I mean, the energy is strong, and there's like now it feels like you finally have clarity on this one thing that it's in your mind. There is certainly, it seems like there has been growth in terms of communication, collaboration, supportiveness, something that has made whatever this is grow fonder, stronger, bigger. This is what it comes across to. Now there is the card of twin flames here highlighted, and that could be, you know, something that is important to you to know because you believe in twin flames, and so this will be confirmation for you. But it could also be that you actually gained all this you know, big clarity that I'm talking about, and you know, big understanding or bigger vision on a choice that you had to make. Okay, so if this applies, for example, to a career or a situation at work that wasn't clear, a boss that was being a little bit cryptical, you didn't know which direction things were going, or a project you were not sure about, now there is clarity coming in for sure. And you don't actually have to do things alone. It seems like there is energy surrounding you that speaks of collaboration in several ways. So whether it's with one person or with more than one person, but certainly that will apply differently to all of you. But it seems that the sun is also finally shining a light on a situation that made you feel stuck, like something was stagnant, or that you were being somehow manipulated. There were obstacles that were impeding you from moving forward, and now it seems like it's really not the case. It seems to be the case of you feeling like this light, I would say, even coming from within. That would be more of a moon sort of effect, and the moon is present and it's a central part of this reading. So I would say that is important to highlight, that certainly you get this shining light from the outside. So somebody may be exercising that on you in this period of time in your life, but you also kind of gain an inner knowledge and an inner confidence about it, because you kind of start shining from the inside. And that is the vital energy that you have within, that gets stronger with the sun energy, and then makes you go over mountains without even realizing. You spread energy at this time. You spread the good energy. You are enlightening to other people around you. It's this relationship between, if you know a bit of the Jungian theories, the animus and the anima, they are intertwined. The animus being the sun, so more of the male energy, intertwined with the female energy, the anima, the moon. And here we're not talking about genders. It's more about what we have in us, which we all embody. We all have a feminine and masculine part within ourselves. And so it seems like there's a flow finally, and a sort of balance between the two. The only caution I would say that would be important to keep in mind is that, when we start to shine, or where we feel, I would rather say, this strength coming in, and we feel like we're invincible sometimes. And I'm thinking about the sun, and I've been thinking from the beginning, I haven't mentioned it, but I should have, this invincible quality that Leos sometimes have, because Leos are just, characters that are bigger than life, a bit like Sagittarius, and they're just like, they shine light on people. They are really strong. In fact, the sun rules Leos. And it's kind of that kind of quality, of like, I I can do whatever I want because the world is my oyster and I just can, I'm invincible is the word that I keep thinking of. And so the only caution I would say that you need to take is that do not tip on the other side, which could be sometimes a shadow of Leo's, which is, thinking that you're so invincible that you either withdraw and and become very guarded and, a bit of arrogance coming through, and you don't allow others into your space. So there's a feeling of superiority. I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen, but I do see a couple of cards here that speak of guardedness. So it's either something that comes from I've been hurt because I was kept in the dark and now I just don't want to give in. I'm just going to keep this inner light shining for myself and I'm not going to spread it with others. And so it could manifest that way, which is obviously not a way leading to growth, which is something that it's highlighted in your reading here. So I would say you should probably drop that guard. Or the other way is that, like you have conquered something, you understand how powerful it is, and you just don't want to share it. So either way, it's about perhaps having it's a slight tendency at this time to say, hey, I just want to keep this my own. Like this light is so good. I want to feel it for myself. I want it to impermeate every part of my body, and I'm just going to keep it for myself. The encouragement I would say here, if you are aiming at growth, don't forget that closing yourself off or thinking that you know better than others perhaps is not the right way to go. There's a Page of Swords here, which is, it acts with a lot of clarity of mind, and he knows what he wants, and he has bright ideas for projects and, things to move forward in life. But it's not always the most mature energy, I would say. And I don't know why I'm going to say this will resonate with very few of you, but in case it does, I'm just going to mention it because it keeps popping in my mind. There could be some sort of, I'm not sure if it's discrimination, the word I'm looking for, but there's a stress on differences of some sort. And so since it came up in my feeling and I just wanted to say it. So if that's the case, just keep an open mind. Just don't shut yourself out of the world, and don't, perhaps don't just, tip on the side that makes you think that you have everything that you need to move forward forever and ever. Because remember, energies are always temporary. Today you have more and tomorrow you will need more, and it's a bit of a give and take. But because the card of growth is here, I would say that definitely the energies are supporting you in that direction. Like I said, the only caution is to just maybe not be too fiery in your communication. I mean, you're a Scorpio, so you're a water sign, but you're a water sign that unfortunately has a bad rap because I believe that it's one of the most sensitive signs in the zodiac. So I'm actually, it's a sign that I believe is a bit mistreated in the world of not in astrology in general, but when we have very superficial, basic conversations, say, yeah, Scorpios are really, I don't know. They're really vindictive, for example. Yeah, it could be sometimes, but that's because, they get hurt easily because, they wear their heart up their sleeves, and they'd rather be very private, and sometimes their privacy is invaded and they just don't know how to react. There's sometimes a lack of knowing how to regulate their emotions, but that only indicates that there's so much emotion and there's so much that a Scorpio can give. If if you're let into the circle of a Scorpio, you're a lucky one because you're in for a treat. So it's really something important to keep in mind. So going back to don't, make sure that your communication is not too fiery. Yes, you're a water sign, but by fiery, I mean that sometimes you can sting. When you're hurt, sometimes you can sting. And so, knowing thyself is always a good thing to do. And it's always a process of growth, which, like I said, seems to be the indication in this reading. So absolutely don't take it wrong. It's just, it's about giving more of a perspective of what is available to you at this time, which is the purpose of a reading, which is temporary anyways. So I'd say that it's actually a very beautiful reading in this sense, because it's beautiful when you actually are out of the darkness, and you Scorpios are really good at digging. I mean, you're the best sign that really would go into the depth. You thrive in the depth. You know exactly what to do. You can transform yourself. You can always fall on your feet even when you come to, rock bottom. So it's just a powerful, powerful sign. So perhaps that not knowing of the moon actually intrigued you in some ways. And now you have finally solved your puzzle, because that's also what Scorpios are all about. They love a good puzzle. They love a good riddle. They are like the Agatha Christie fan of the zodiac, like you're really good at that. So maybe you're patting yourself in a way that you're saying, hey, now I know more. I brought myself to the point that I actually digged enough to know what it was all about, and now I have the power. So yes, you do, I would say. Yes, you're moving forward. Just lean onto the soft side, on the soft side of Scorpio, which actually allows those that Scorpios love into their circle. Okay, and because I mentioned so much Leo, I would say you may have a connection with the sign of Leo, whether it's strong in your chart or you're dealing with somebody that has it in their chart. So I would say definitely go check out that video, because there may be a message in there for you. I'm pretty confident there is, because the sun is here twice, and because I felt so called to actually talk about them. So yeah, that would be something else I would say. Okay, I'm just going to pull out a card, which is a final guidance. They usually, with this deck, the messages are short, to the point, and they're very deep nonetheless. And so I always like to, whenever I have time and I feel called to it, I like to finish my readings with one of these cards, if I'm called to any, if any pops out, and see if there is confirmation about whatever it is that we have read so far. Okay, we got two cards, not one. Beautiful. So you got two cards, like I said. One is the card of love, which is the first one. I'm going to read it for you. And the second card, sorry, it's just to put it in. There we go. Sometimes it blurs out. And the other card is caregiver. So let me read them both for you, so maybe something resonates and confirms further. Love is the foundation of your existence, and you're just as worthy of receiving as you are of giving love and compassion. While love can be a beautiful emotion, it is equally a form of energy that propels you through life. And this last sentence is what I would like to focus on. Not only giving and receiving, it's important. Like I said, don't shut yourself off. You are a part of an ecosystem. We're not alone on this earth. So please, refrain from closing off with these two cards over here. But also the last sentence is about the energy that propels you through life. And this is what the sun is all about. So definitely I'd say this is one confirmation of this reading. And the other card, which is a bit more specific and will resonate with some of you, but not with all of you, is the card of caregiver. And it says, we are here with you, and spirit has its own way of recognizing the care and love you provide to others, especially at the end of their lives, just as you received care and love at the start of your life. Caregivers often focus all their attention on their loved ones and often neglect their own concerns and well-being in the process. So here's for some of you who have perhaps taken care of somebody in their early age, maybe grandma, a grandfather, somebody that was dear to you, somebody older than you, or somebody that needed care, and you have been a giver. And man, if there's a sign that can give care, that is certainly Scorpio. So here the encouragement is to take care of yourself for a little bit, because you have been given and you're still giving. So that's a beautiful thing to do. Keep doing that. So keep yourself open. Just don't forget that you also are worth of receiving. So it's not just one-sided, okay? Just in case you find yourself in a position where you feel like, you have over given, and that may be the reason why you have this urge perhaps now to shut down a little bit and to enjoy your own inner light. That's fantastic. Fill your cup in for sure, but just don't refrain from sharing with others the good. We grow by helping each other, not by putting obstacle in each other's way. Okay, it's just a silly reminder, because I'm pretty sure you're aware of all of this. You're very sensitive that way, and sensible too. It's a very very, I mean, I love the sign of Scorpio anyways, and I have a lot of presence in my chart, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay, all right, I'm gonna leave it there. It's a pretty long reading, but I hope you found something interesting in here, something that, I don't know, maybe offers some guidance, some support, anything that, or some confirmation, anything that you were looking for. I hope you found it in here. And like I said at the beginning, if you did enjoy this reading, please don't forget to put a like, share a comment with me, let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe, yeah, so that I can reach more and more of you. Thank you so much, Scorpio, and I'll see you next month again. Bye.